Welcome back to Downing Street, where Liz Truss resigned as Prime Minister this afternoon. The battle is now well underway to replace her. There will be a new Prime Minister in place by next Friday, the 28th. Let's talk now then to the former Education Secretary and former Conservative MP, of course, Justine Greening. Very good to see you, Justine Greening. Well, first of all, do you think Liz Truss did the right thing?
I think it was inevitable. So, yes, I do. And I think the big mistake that she made was thinking that she could simply leave behind the mandate that the Conservative Party won at the last election, which was to drive a levelled up Britain. People wanted skills and talent and equality of opportunity, not tax cuts.
And so she's fallen on her sword, having sacked the Chancellor. So the architects of that process now gone. Who should replace her? I mean, I put the point earlier to a Penny Mordaunt supporter that perhaps anyone who was in that cabinet should not be really suitable for the job.
I think the question is almost as much what that next Prime Minister is there to do as much as it is who. The reality is people have been very clear what they wanted from this Conservative administration when they voted for it at the last election. This is a leadership contest to sort out who is going to be best placed to deliver that agenda of levelling up. And I think what the party needs to realise and remember is that levelling up is the growth strategy for Britain. There are businesses around this country who cannot get the skills that they need. That's what's hindering growth. And so really this is going to be a contest about who can deliver that the best. What an incoming Prime Minister does not get to do is to totally reinvent their own mandate. And Liz Truss's big mistake, alongside Kwasi Kwarteng, was to shift away from levelling up and suddenly think that they could do whatever they wanted. That's not how the British democracy works. And if a new Conservative administration coming in fails to learn that lesson, then they will probably go down the same route that Liz Truss's administration has just done.
And what the next Prime Minister has to do is realise that they simply can't invent any money. It's all gone. There's nothing left to spend. It's all about filling in black holes. Is there a case, you talk about levelling up, but is there a case for saying the next administration will be, well, more like the one you served in, that there has to be a dollop of austerity?
Well, there are going to clearly be some difficult choices about how you balance the books, but what the markets want to see is a long-term economic plan for Britain. And the reality is it's lives that are off track that cost the taxpayer, money, not lives that are on track and contributing and in work and paying tax. So levelling up isn't just about being a fairer society, it is the economic strategy for Britain. Increasing productivity, Dermot, is about improving per capita GDP growth. It's about people. We now have to understand that in the same way we talk about long-term investment in physical infrastructure, whether it's roads, railways, we have to have a long-term investment in our human capital, people, so that they can be the growth driver, if you like, of the economy long term. And I think that's what the markets want to see. They want to see that long-term plan. What I want to see from those people who are now seeking to replace Liz Truss is how do they plan to drive a levelled up Britain? How are they going to put that long-term plan in place to finally deliver equality of opportunity? Because that's what the British people were voting for. And actually, in terms of how you bring the Conservative parliamentary party together, it's levelling up that is that common thread that I think all MPs in the Conservative Party can get behind.